This is Oak Hill, West Virginia, known for its breathtaking views as far as the eye can see. It's the perfect setting for outdoor enthusiasts and the MWR All-Military Wilderness Challenge.
Good luck. Oh yeah!
Previously on FNG, 32 teams raced through Ace Adventure Resort in Oak Hill, West Virginia for this annual competition. The Wilderness Challenge is a grueling 50-mile, 2-day course through some of West Virginia's toughest terrain. This competition is made up of 5 legs: running, rafting, biking, paddling, and hiking. Day 1 included a grueling 8K run and 13 miles of violent whitewater rafting. For Day 2, the race continues with 10 miles of technical mountain biking, a 7-mile adrenaline-filled ducky race capped off with a 15-mile mountain hike. Which team will rise to the top and be named the winner of the All-Military Wilderness Challenge on FNG? There are 32 teams competing in the Wilderness Challenge. Air Force has 1, Coast Guard 3, Marines 5, Army 6, and Navy 17 teams.
When you only have 5 to 10 teams that show up, and then you've got a total of 60 teams on a normal event, it's going to be difficult to do that because your odds are just not that great.
Every service is represented, to include retirees and wounded warriors. Teams are grouped into 4 and must include a female. Team captain for the Army, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Gordemiller of Bell, California.
Army team has never won this event, and a lot of it's because of the 2 events with the watercraft. But I saw a lot of soldiers out there making the best of it, doing the best, not getting frustrated, still the will to make sure the mission's complete and drive through it and overcome it.
Representing the Marines, Major Robert Stork of Quantico, Virginia.
First, second, and third place as of the end of day 1, we're all Marine Corps teams. So it's pretty competitive. And I think 1 and 2, actually I think the top 3 spots are going to remain unchanged. So.
Representing the Navy, Commander Todd Gagner of MacDill Air Force Base, Florida.
It's so easy to give up. Even with a team, it's easy to give up on your team and just let them down. So it takes some serious mental toughness.
Representing the Coast Guard, Petty Officer First Class Laura Tomlinson of Yorktown, Virginia.
Well, every year I keep saying I'm never going to do this race again because it's exhausting. But we've been practicing. We'll go out biking, running regularly. It's just our lifestyle. Our strategy is just to have fun and, of course, try and win. We want to win.
Representing the Air Force, Staff Sergeant Cole Davis of Fort Belvoir, Virginia.
Most of the time, the Air Force gets the rep as the chair force of the lazy slobs, the guys who couldn't hack it in the real man's military. But we came out here. I think all the Air Force, we performed really well. We showed them that that's not the case.
With the first day's races over, the early fall morning air greets teams at the starting line for Day 2 and the start of the 10-mile bike race.
Good luck. You got him. 10 seconds. All right, here we go.
One by one, teams take off with a 2-minute stagger in start times.
Last but not least. 3, 2, 1.
This course is not groomed. It's tough, technical, and both physically and mentally challenging. Bikers must stay alert at all times through this narrow terrain. Teams did not expect these giant pools of mud. Some cyclists attempt to ride through what they think are puddles. So far in the lead, Coast Guard team from Michigan. Trailing behind, Marine Corps team from Milton, Florida. Bikers are now at the 8-mile mark. For the next 2 miles, they'll face a 700-foot descent to the river and one step closer to the finish line.
Screaming downhill on loose gravel on 2 wheels at 25, 30 miles an hour it's an experience.
Either get mad at each other and just give up, but no, it's pushing each other through.
Teams get a brief break as they continue to go down these hills. Will exhaustion set in or pure adrenaline? We'll find out after the break. Every team has made it down the bike course safely, which completes 3 of the 5 events in the All-Military Wilderness Challenge.
MWR does a great job putting this on, and there's no problems as far as the logistics goes. They have it all ironed out after doing this for 11 years.
I'm here with Michael Bond, the MWR director that came up with the idea for the Wilderness Challenge. Mike, how did you come up with the idea for this challenge?
Well, the survey said that the outdoor enthusiasts with the military, they weren't getting their needs met. We've been bringing the sailors up here and the soldiers up here for whitewater rafting trips, and we decided to add a bike race here and a ducky race there, and it just kind of snowballed to what it is today. Now, they let us know what they like, what they don't like. If there was a run too long, was it too short, was it too easy, too hard, and we adjusted to what they want. This is their event, this is what they wanted, and they tell us what they like. The winner gets a piece of wood that says that they won. And they get the coin. They get the Wilderness Challenge coin, which everyone covets. I mean, if you cross that finish line, you get a coin. If you fall a little short, you don't get one. So they really enjoy getting the coins. They really look forward to getting them.
One of the legs of the Military Wilderness Challenge puts service members in a ducky going over whitewater rapids. Here to explain some of the finer points of operating one of these crafts is Brad Scott of Ace Adventure Resorts. Brad, for starters, can you tell me, what is a ducky?
Well, a ducky is one of the more fun whitewater crafts that you're going to have some time spent in the race this weekend. They're actually nicknamed duckies. The official term would be an inflatable kayak. Looks just like a kayak, except you don't sit down inside of it. Your feet go out in front of you, and you paddle along with a double-bladed paddle. Now, the nice thing about an inflatable kayak, or a ducky, as it were, if you flip it over and you're swimming in the water, you just climb back right on top of it without going to shore, without having to stop. Makes for a really fun experience.
Is there any kind of gear that service members participating in this race will need when they operate a ducky over these rapids?
Yeah, absolutely. As far as equipment and things you're going to need, when operating a ducky, you're always going to have a double-bladed paddle, similar to what you would use with a kayak. So you can paddle on both sides very easily. Other than that, standard whitewater equipment, always have your helmet, your PFD, your personal flotation device, and any warm clothing you might need depending on water temperature and air conditions. The most widely used option would be a wetsuit, and I think we're going to put you in one of those pretty soon, aren't we?
Yeah, why don't we put one on and we'll get in the water and go over some of the points of operating this.
Sounds great, man.
I'm all suited up in the same gear our participants are going to be wearing for the water rapids part of the course. Brad, why don't we go over how to use one of these duckies?
So the most important part is rear end first. So just
Rear end first. And then just kind of sit back down like this. All right.
all right.
Oh, that was easy.
Paddling a ducky is a pretty simple 1-2 motion. You'll notice the paddle here has 2 blades. You want to put your hands about shoulder width apart
All right, so right here's fine.
and rotate it just like that. There you go. You lean your body forward, put this blade down in the water, turn your torso, and then do the other side. There you go.
All right.
At a nice even pace, that'll propel you right along. Now, the hardest part about navigating your inflatable kayak, the going forward, the going back seems pretty easy. It's when you want to turn your inflatable kayak that things start to get a little testy. So, a couple different ways you can turn. You can take more than one forward stroke on one side and it'll slowly turn you around.
Okay, so just double up.
Right. If you need to turn quickly, the best thing to do is what we call a backward sweep. You're gonna take that paddle over there, put it in the water behind you, and sweep it around this way, and you'll notice inflatable kayak spins right around.
Great.
Go ahead and try it on the other side. Put it behind you, give her a big sweep. Do another one if you have to. Spins you right around. That's the quickest way to steer your ducky when you're in whitewater. Other than that, point it downstream, have fun, hope for the best.
They're coming in fast. These guys know what's going on.
And teams are hoping for the best as they quickly approach the start line of the 8-mile ducky race.
Get some calories. The mighty Thor.
For me, I think the hardest part is the transition from mountain biking to that inflatable torment on water, the ducky. The ducky's doesn't steer, it does whatever it wants.
In order to maneuver this raft, the person in the back does the steering, while the person in the front paddles consistently. The trick is to work together and establish a rhythm.
As far as the watercraft, the Army's got a long way to go as far as the rubber ducky and the rafting and so forth, and that seemed to be the discriminators.
I'm concerned personally about the duckies. You know, just opportunity to train together. We haven't had an opportunity to train together, so we're going to go out there and paddle.
That's teamwork, folks. That's how it works out here.
Duckies are stable and ideal for inexperienced kayakers.
All right. Far ahead of you. Look at, they're barely out of the eddy, guys. Work it together. Work it together.
Unlike the second leg of the race, whitewater rafting, teams do not have an instructor, so they must quickly learn how to maneuver these rafts. Teams take in a scenic view down the river as they approach the finish line of the ducky race. Out of the water and back on land as teams prepare for the next leg in the All-Military Wilderness Challenge. Teams must now hike this mountain for the next 15 miles.
It's just going to be very hard to stay positive when you come toward like the 10-mile mark on the 15-mile hike, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I just want it to be over. It's going to be more mental, I think, than anything.
Which service has taken the lead? Stick around to find out. everyone is responsible for returning their raft and gear before moving on to the next leg of the race. Teams are physically and emotionally drained, but only one can win. As teams prepare for the last leg of this race, the 15-mile hike, judges are careful not to reveal who is in the lead.
Each of us have our own weaknesses. I mean, the 15 miles, some members, kind of hesitant about the 15 miles.
You got to be strong mentally, and you got to be strong physically, but it's that mental part that plays the biggest role, especially on that long hike back.
Teams are racing against the clock, and they're only as fast as their weakest link.
When you start with a hill, you got hills in the middle, and you finish with a hill. So you find out what you're made of when you try to get up those hills.
Oh yeah.
You can be the best runner in the world, but something happens, you twist a knee, twist an ankle, have back spasm, and you just got to adapt and overcome. I mean, that's what we're trained in the military, adapt and overcome.
All of a sudden these big mud pits that you think you can get around, so you try, and then all of a sudden it's nothing but thorns. That's how she got all scratched. And then you end up falling in anyway, then you're all muddy and then you're miserable, and it's like, that's when it gets really trying. Do I quit? Do I throw a fit? Do I start yelling at everybody? Or do I just suck it up and know that every step is a step closer to finishing?
The majority of teams tackled the 15-mile hike more like a 15-mile sprint to the finish line.
Coming in, white finish 0-1. Presley. Good job, boy. All right. And Mike, Mary.
You gonna fly?
It's not that bad.
Good job, y'all.
Against some pretty tough odds and even tougher elements, all teams crossed the finish line, and each member earned their Wilderness Challenge coin. 32 teams battled through 2 grueling days and over 50 miles of running, biking, rafting, paddling, and hiking. But only one team can ultimately win. In 5th place, Marine Corps Team number 124, Chesty's Chosen, with a total time of 7 hours, 49 minutes, and 55 seconds. In 4th place, Navy Team number 115, Tail Radial Turn, finishing slightly over 7 hours and 44 minutes. In 3rd place, Marine Corps Team number 119, Paradoxical Trinity, coming in at 7 hours and 40 minutes. 2nd place goes to the Coast Guard, Team number 112, Motor City Racing, at 7 hours, 34 minutes.
Winner, 2011 Wilderness Challenge, Marine Corps Team HT-18.
Team HT-18 is led by Commander John Quillinan. Their team name represents their home base, Helicopter Training Squadron 18 in Pensacola, Florida. HT-18's mission is to transition student aviators through basic and advanced rotary wing pilot training.
I say these guys definitely pushed me to my limits. I wouldn't even imagine myself going beyond what I did today, and it's also good because these are my instructors, and to see them as actually humans and teammates was a good thing today, and I'm glad I could see a different side of them.
HT-18! Woo! Through physical and emotional pain, everyone strived to be the best. But Team HT-18 was determined to take home the winning plaque and call themselves the MWR All-Military Wilderness Challenge Champions.
18!